Hello and welcome. My name is Zafar Iqbal and you are watching the Mojo Story. The US Justice Department in a release has said that an Indian government employee directed the plot from India collaborating with one Nikhil Gupta and attempted to hire a hitman through him to eliminate Gurpatwant Singh Pannu, the Khalistani separatist who is based in US and Canada, has been lately threatening India. He has been saying that he's been asking Sikhs not to fly on the Air India flights. He has been making lots of inflammatory remarks. Now, there you can see on the screen Gurpatwant Singh Pannu. Now, this US attorney announcement says that the hitman, intriguingly, the criminal has turned out to be a source of the DEA, Drug Enforcement Administration, which is essentially an undercover police officer posing as a hitman. Now, they say that this Indian government officer was in touch with Nikhil Gupta, Nick Gupta, he's called, also called, and he has now been arrested by the Czech authorities in June and is currently awaiting extradition. The press release provides additional details about the government employee. It says that it was always in contact with Nikhil Gupta since May 2023. Gupta is quoted as describing Hardeep Singh Nijjar as one of the intended targets. Now, Nijjar was shot dead outside a Gurdwara in Surrey, Canada on June 18th the same year. Now, Canada has been alleging that he was eliminated by the agents of the Indian government. Hardeep Singh Nijjar, India has vehemently denied all those allegations, but this release from the US says that the official had in fact contacted Nikhil Gupta and sent him photographs of his body, Hardeep Singh Nijjar's body, and had asked for the prompt elimination of Gurpatwant Singh Pannu. In fact, some cash had also exchanged hands. There's a photograph also in that release where allegedly cash is being transferred from one person to another person in supposedly a car. There is a photo also of that. So clearly, those are the details that are being put out by the US Justice Department. India has clearly said that it's formed a panel to probe US inputs on the plot to kill Pannu, although India says that there are two sets of information that have come from US and Canada, and India is cooperating with US because they are the allegations and the inputs from the US are of a different nature, while as in Canada the case is entirely different. But here the important thing is that the officer, the Indian officer, was in contact with Nikhil Gupta, and who had in turn hired this hitman in the US, who was also working as an undercover police officer of the US, and that's how they are connecting the dots. Now, Gurpatwant Singh Pannu has played a prominent role in promoting terror activities in India. He has been giving calls to Hindus of Canada to leave Canada and to return to India, and has already seized his properties in Punjab. He has been designated as a terrorist by India, but the United States saying that he is a citizen of the US, and this was clearly a plot to eliminate him. Now, this story was first broken by the Financial Times. In fact, they revealed some of the details, and now the US Justice Department coming out with a release. It's a 15-page release in which they have given all the details about the series of events. According to them, they say that it's been many months since this planning was made, and it all started from India by an Indian officer who got in touch with Nikhil Gupta, and he in turn got in touch with a hitman in US, and that's how this plot was created to assassinate the US citizen Gurpatwant Singh Pannu in in New York, but this plot was foiled because the hitman turned out to be an undercover police agent of the US. And initially, they played on till the time the advance payment was received by him. And after that, there was some photographic evidence also that's been released. And after that, Indian authorities were informed about the same. Now, earlier in that report of the Financial Times, they said that when the US conveyed those findings to the Indian officials, they expressed surprise. They said that it's not a government of India's policy. And India has, in fact, said that it's formed a panel to probe the US inputs in the plot to kill Pannu. Pannu, remember, is a designated terrorist in India. He's been making extremely inflammatory remarks in the recent past, and he said that he has in fact threatened to carry out terrorist attacks in India. He's asked people not Sikhs not to travel on the Air India flight on the final of the World Cup match. In fact, bringing back the horrors of Kanishka bombing, uh, in which uh, uh, in which many people were killed, most of them of Indian descent, living in Canada. So Khalistani separatism being fanned by Gurpatwant Singh Pannu. He had also given a call for referendum 2023 for Sikhs, and he had been also a close associate of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, who was eliminated in Canada. In fact, there is a clear reference of Nijjar in this press release. The connection that's being drawn here is that the official called Gupta and told him that there is no time to waste now. They can go ahead with their mission. And it was also decided the money that was to be exchanged in lieu of that deal, and some of that money did exchange hands. Murder for hire is a crime. That's what this release says. But we have to see how is the government of India going to respond to all these allegations. Now, this US attorney has said that, as alleged, the defendant conspired from India to assassinate, rather here in New York City, a US citizen of Indian origin who has publicly advocated for the establishment of a sovereign state for Sikhs. Uh, Sikhs are an ethno-religious minority group in India. It goes on to say that I am grateful that my office and law enforcement partners neutralize this deadly and outrageous threat. We will not tolerate efforts to assassinate US citizens on US soil and stand ready to investigate, thwart, and persecute anyone who seeks to harm and silence Americans here or abroad. Now, Canada had also said that a Canadian was killed in Canada, Hardeep Singh Nijjar, and they had alleged that it was the agents of the government of India responsible for that. Now, India has been asking for evidence ever since, but Canada has so far not provided any concrete evidence. But in the case of the US, government has set up a panel to probe the US inputs, which are of a different nature compared to Canada, the inputs that were given by Canada, but clearly it's sort of an explosive story in many ways that the US Justice Department has filed this indictment against Indians. A government official, it alleges, was the mastermind for the elimination of Gurpatwant Singh Pannu, a designated terrorist who is living in US and is making threatening Indians with terror from the US soil, obviously, and fanning the Khalistani separatist movement in US and Canada. He has been very active lately since the referendum 2023 call was given by him, and he has been making those videos and putting them out lately, and this has become more frequent since the elimination of Hardeep Singh Nijjar in Canada. But clearly, this has added another angle to to this series of events, the US Justice Department coming out with this release and trying to connect the dots, but we'll have to wait. How will the government of India counter this, and what is the stand of government of India on this? Government of India has clearly said that a panel has been formed to probe US inputs into the alleged killing of Gurpatwant Singh Pannun. On those pictures, you can see the Kanishka bombing, the Air India flight that was bombed and that fell into the Atlantic Ocean. There was extreme, when Prime Minister Modi and Justin Trudeau met, it was a different atmosphere at that point in time in G20 summit. Justin Trudeau had said that he specifically raised the issue of Hardeep Singh Nijjar in his meeting with the Prime Minister, and India had clearly said that Canada is sort of becoming a safe haven for criminals and terrorists, and there was that response from the government of India. But clearly, we're seeing a very, very important development here. The plot, the failed plot to assassinate U.S. citizens, says U.S. claims that an Indian government official was the one who was orchestrating it and had hired Nikhil Gupta, another Indian who's now been arrested, who had in turn hired a hitman who was an undercover US agent. So those are the details for now. We will keep tracking this story and updating you on the developments as and when we get more developments about this. But for now, thanks so much for watching Mojo Story and for joining us on this very important development.
Mojo Story has always made a commitment to its viewers to go to where the story is. And as you can see here, we are at the epicenter of the Israel war on Gaza. We are right at the front line, about 1 mile from the Gaza Strip, as the Israeli military gets ready with its tanks and its gunners to begin its final frontal assault that will take troops into Gaza. As we said, we are not like other organizations. We believe in giving you all sides of the story objectively and as much as possible from the ground. And that's exactly what we're doing here, covering the biggest global story today from the epicenter of the war zone. So please, we need your support. Support us, become a Mojo member, subscribe to us, spread the word, and thank you for your support.